Yeah, welcome back. Um, let's see. In the last episode, I went ahead and did the area of Farron, and I went through the items first, but I'm gonna have to go back and do the fires because I'm definitely gonna have to get that out of the way. And I'm gonna show you the next bonfire. I do have a point 2 level up, so I'm gonna go
Welcome,
ahead and use that.
Very well, then take nourish.
And we're going to put it towards health for now. I would put it towards endurance, but endurance is one of those things where
Farewell, maid.
you're not really going to get that much of a jump, so I'll do that later on. Plus, I also have the Rosaria bedchamber area, so I can go there and respec my character anytime I want to. Alright, so we're going to start from this bonfire. Okay, so we're gonna go back and we're gonna do all the fires now. And in this area, you have to get 3 fires, and 3 fires open a door at the end of one of the other bonfires. So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and try and get those. So I got all these items. We are good here. I should equip this. Even though I have the spell, you know, it's great to have options. Now these fires are surrounded by enemies, so expect to fight people around here. I'm gonna see if I can pull him, so that way I don't have to fight both of them at the same time. Okay, so the other one wakes up regardless. Now normally for PvP, I would say 2 swings and you're good. But for PvE, if you have the stamina, please keep swinging. Especially if you're dealing with multiple enemies. Now this just plays a short video that shows the fire going out. I don't know why we have to go through this video every time, but that's Dark Souls for you. Alright, so that's one fire out. I don't get how that works. You put out a little small fire and then all of a sudden a big fire goes out. That makes no sense. And then one fire here lights up, and that's the door we have to get through. Now for those big guys with the trees, they are a lot easier to hit with sorceries or any kind of magic, any distance magic, so if you have that, probably be a good idea to use it. If you have to fight them, I mean, if you can avoid fighting them, screw it, avoid fighting them. Alright, so this is one of the items that I spoke about that's here. It's just a poison that you can apply to your weapon. I don't think there's any more enemies around here. There is that one guy over here that jumps that we have to take out again. I'm definitely not going to let him violate me. Don't block when he does that. Dodge, because I swear to you, he's still going to grab you while you're blocking. You're going to be cursing out your entire life. Alright, I believe there are some others up here. This guy over here. Three hits, that's not too bad. Another item over here. And then we're gonna get this. I believe there is an item around the wall there. We're not gonna watch this video again. We don't. You got to watch the second one, but there. I think there's also an enemy behind here. Let me check. All right. Maybe. Nope. No item or enemy. There might be an item in New Game Plus, so I definitely recommend checking back here if you remember. Now, instead of fighting them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to return to the last bonfire, and then I'm going to travel to that bonfire. I say, work smarter, not harder. Especially in Dark Souls. Now, the next area through that doorway is going to be where the boss is. But before I get to the boss, I'm going to do one more optional area. I guess you could call it an optional area. So, what are we going to do? We are going to run down here. We are going to run past. Wait, I thought I saw an item up there, but never mind. I'm going to run past all these things because we don't need to deal with them. And then we are going to run in this direction. Now, I will say, that thing, if you're walking through there and you're close enough to that thing, it will attack you. So, if you're going this way, hug the wall. That wall is your new best friend right now. You can't see me. You cannot see me. Oh, he definitely saw me. Run. Run. Forget everything else here. Fucking run. It takes long to cast a spell, so I'm definitely gonna use this real quick. And then I'm gonna fight him up here. Attempt to fight him up here. I forgot he does that. When he sticks it and leaves it in the ground, yeah. Nope, sir. And that's still hit. But I won. I finally beat one. Oh. I'm gonna be honest. This is the first time ever getting that. So he definitely drops that. Is it useful? Probably not, to be honest. This is another one of those guys that likes to jump super high. I'll be honest, I'll probably... So, when he does a grab move, what he does is, you see that tail right there? He'll wrap it around his, like, pelvis and stick it in your mouth. I don't know why that's a thing in Dark Souls, but that's a thing in Dark Souls. Alright, yeah, that goes out. And finally the third fire goes up on that door. Then the door opens. Congratulations. Okay, we don't need to watch that. Alrighty. Now from here, everything on to the left we already have. So I don't see any more items. The other bonfire, the first bonfire is there. So what we are going to do is we're going to run back down here. And we are finally going to go through the door. Should I deal with Yellowfinger's Heisel yet? No. Not going to deal with that invader until later on. And the reason being is because I want to clear this area out before I deal with him. Alright, I think that's it. And I want to be right where he spawns when I activate my Ember, so that way I can just fight him, not have to deal with anything else, and then be out. Okay, so as you go through this doorway, the boss is not going to show up yet, so you don't have to worry. You see that item over there? Skip it for now. We're going to get back to it in a little bit. Go left to first. left first. I'm going to show you why in a second. You see that thing right there? You want to kill it because if it screams, the other ones that you see down here are going to start. I'm pretty sure they actually don't attack you. I'm going to test that theory out really quickly. Yeah, so they don't attack you. So if you don't need the souls, I say you really don't need to deal with them. Let them do their little prayer thing. They don't drop anything important, so not really important to deal with them. Okay, now you're gonna see something up here. That's the first time I've ever seen this in my life. Alright, you see things fighting things. You normally don't see that in Dark Souls, but yep, here it is. That thing that I skipped earlier that had the sword and looked pretty human-like, that thing, that's what those two things are. They're called Dark Wraiths. I would like to avoid them for now. This is the last bonfire of the area. Of course, it does not include the boss bonfire that you get in every area, so there is a hallway down there. We're going to get to that later. First, I want to get everything in this area. So we're going to run up here because there's a guy over here and you can backstab him. Kill him in one shot, so that way we don't have to deal with him. There is an item and thing over there, and it looks like that Dark Wraith is going to deal with him for us. Alright, great. He doesn't see me, so he's going back there. Alright, great. If you don't want a PvP to get a pale tongue and you want to respec your character, you can kill those things. If you increase your luck, they will eventually drop a pale tongue. Okay, and that is it for items. So, with that being said, we're going to return to the bonfire over here. Now, there is an NPC that you can summon here to help you out. Honestly, I don't think he'll be that much help against this next boss. Alright, so now we are going to deal with this area really quickly. Now there is that area there, and we're going to get to that in a little bit, but first I want you to deal with what's down here. So if you see that, don't go there first, wait, and you'll see why in a second. Alright, and here we have an incredibly difficult enemy, of course. The crystal freaking lizard. I'm getting better at fighting these things though. So with this particular weapon, about 6 hits will do for the knockback, and then a couple more hits and they're good. So, another magic weapon, and here is a shortcut into the last area. The Road of Sacrifice. Nope, not trying to deal with you right now. Not trying to deal with you right now. You can leave, sir. The hell out of my way. Alright, now we can go down here and we can get these two and then just run back up because we've already dealt with everything. There's a spell, and I believe the other one's a dark gem? Hollow gem. I forgot what the hollow gems do. So, we have gotten everything up to the boss, which means there's one of two things that we can do right now. One, we can take on the invader, or we can do the last bit of the area that's up here. Now, we're going to rest at this bonfire, and we're going to go up here. Actually, let me go to Firelink Shrine real quick. I'm going to use up any souls that I have and then level up. And if I have enough souls left, I'm gonna get another one of those prism stones to moisturize my skin again. Because as you can see, I am um, dry as fuck. Let's see, what do we have? Nope, nope, souls. All right, so
Welcome, speak. Very
one
well,
level
then
up.
take.
We're gonna leave health at 20 for now, and then I'm gonna start focusing on my endurance.
Farewell, I've made of.
And okay. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this in advance. This next area is going to be hard. And the reason why this next area is going to be hard is because there is a particular enemy that you are going to deal with. Now, you may do magic, you may do pyromancy. Forget that. Stick strictly to your weapon because this enemy at long ranges is deadly. I mean, even my new game +3 character I think I'm at with him now struggles with this guy. Now, if you don't feel like dealing with him first, and I really don't feel like dealing with him right now, we can go ahead and go this way really quickly. And we can go ahead and just drop down here, and there is another area. And it's nice how you can see areas from other areas. That is the Cathedral of the Deep area that we were at earlier. There's 2 crystal lizards up here. Chances are you're not going to be able to get both of them. Because one is going to run to the other one. Oh, I might be able to. I might be able to. Yep, got one. And then you want to lead that one away from this one. Because if it runs towards this one and you try to attack one, eventually the other one is. That is a pretty important spell for my build because I'm a faith build. So let me see if that is the shield. Nope, that's not the shield. Eventually you'll come across a few parry shields that you can do spell parries with, but this is not one of them. Alrighty, so forget the crystal lizard because there's one of those screamer guys up here. As I say that. Alright, let's deal with him first. Did he wake everybody else? Nope, we are good. Fuck everybody else. I'm trying to get that crystal lizard. Got him. Alright, so usually everybody else stays particularly dormant. This guy's really annoying me right now. But they might be small enemies, but don't take them too lightly because they will kill you. Especially that one with the dagger. He has like a 30 hit combo with that dagger. It's pretty annoying. Now let's just do this, open him up really quickly. Of course. And that's why I hate doing that move, is because they're not always going to be blocking when you do it. So if the animation you do is slow enough, they'll be able to hit you before you get it off. Okay, so we dealt with this area. I've gotten everything that I needed. Now if I want more spell slots, I'm going to need to increase my attunement eventually, but that's not really that important now for my dexterity build because of faith is kind of a secondary build. So I'm going to focus mostly on being able to use dex weapons and do a lot of damage with dex weapons. So finally we get to deal with this thing. This thing is incredibly annoying. Actually, let me see if I can do something really quickly. Before I do, let me see if I have the spell. No, I do not. There's a replenishment spell that you can get, and I was hoping to be able to use it and then fight the boss, so at least I have some healing while I'm fighting. Alright, while he has his back turned, I'm going to run up to him. For most enemies, it's better to stay under them. And even though they do that, all you really have to do is just run back in, keep your an eye on your stamina. Don't back up far enough to where he can activate his jump. Alright, thank God I missed that. Activate his long range ability, because in my experience, it one-shots. Like, period. Now, if you do enough damage to him within a short amount of time, his legs actually crumble. Sometimes I swear, like, my attack button doesn't work because I'm clicking it, my character is not really doing anything. Alright, and that is it. So now, we get to the boss. That is all the items in this entire area, I actually believe. So we did pick up a soul, and this is actually a boss soul. So like every other boss soul, you know, you can use it. This one, you get the same distance attack that you had to as a spell, and you get it as a pyromancy spell. In my personal opinion, it's not as effective when I do it than when he does it. And what he does is he actually shoots rocks out of his mouth. And I want to say they're human-sized boulders, probably larger than the size of my chest. And he spits out, I want to say about 10 at a time. If 2 hit you, that's instant death. And he spits out 10. And they're, I want to say, pretty hard to avoid. It's not impossible, but it's pretty close. So the last thing I'm going to do is, one, I'm going to get my moisturizing stone here. It's really called a purging
Sleep
stone.
on. Orbeck of Ifleth.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Till we've made.
Alright, and we're going to use our moisturizing stone here. Now, before I get to the boss, I am, of course, going to deal with the invader. And I'm saying deal with in air quotes here, because does he have anything important that I want? No, not really. The S-Stock, maybe. No, I don't want that. Some pretty effective armor, but for my build, not really. I may want the assassin's armor, but I'm gonna come back to that. I do have those. Maybe I can get the, nope.
Goodbye.
I normally don't get arrows if I can't do more than 99. Okay, so this is really important. If you don't want this guy to disappear, you do need to give him the scrolls.
Back again, I suppose this means... Oh my. This is stupendous. And the undead legion of Farron possesses sorceries quite unknown. Thank you for upholding your end of the bargain. I doubt I ever would have made this discovery alone. Now, let us unravel the thing, so you may put these new sorceries to use. Oh my. Well, this is very unusual. It's from Ulasil, an ancient land of golden sorceries. Not even the Dragon School possesses such a long-lost scroll. What would the Xanthus scholars say with their ridiculous headwear? They would simply slaver over this find. I don't mean anything in the form, I hope.
Okay, so this is a spell that allows you to hide yourself. And paired with this spell, it reduces the noise of your feet. So with these two spells, you can pretty much just roam around the entire game without being noticed. I will say this though, with this spell activated, if you do get too close to enemies, they will still be able to notice you. So this is a good spell to, if you want to do a stealth build, this is a perfect thing for the stealth build. It does not, well, I don't want to say it doesn't work for PvP, But what it does basically is occasionally when you're rolling around through the game,
Come again.
you'll see other players. And it's not like they're actually in your world, but they're kind of like shadows. You're seeing what they're doing as they're doing it for a brief moment, and that's what you look like to other people when you use that spell. You will look not invisible, but kind of like that right there. You will look just like that. Perfect timing. All right, now I'm gonna deal with Yellowfinger Heisel. I'm just trying to figure out. This is a bonfire, the best bonfire I want to say to deal with him. I believe I got one Titanite scale. I need two in order to actually level up the Great Sword again. I don't know if I want to use the Great Sword or the... Ooh, I do have, and I do have more of these as well. So I do have Twinkling Titanite, so when I do get an actual... Um, so I know this seems a little out of order, but I'm going to level up my weapon. It's important to check everything before you leave. Even though for me, these games load pretty quickly. So I should be able to level up this greatsword
That
once.
is quite neat.
And then I can't do the katana because I need 4 and I only have 2. Eventually, with enough ash, Umbrel ash that you give to the old lady, she will be able to actually sell. I can actually use this now. Now, this looks like a good weapon. If you level it up enough, you do a tremendous amount of damage. My only thing is, because I'm doing a dexterity build, it is not the most useful weapon for my build. A weapon like this would be good. Paired with a skill shield, this weapon would be pretty good. Strength. This is one of those weapons that requires faith or intelligence as well to scale. That's another strength. This is another strength weapon. This is a weapon that you would use if you have sorceries. If you want to be able to both cast sorceries and do attacks at the same time, this would be a perfect weapon. Another strength, another strength, another strength, another strength. So the first number at the bottom is your strength requirement, so that's what you need to have in order to wield the weapon, and then above that is the scale rating, so you get bonus damage with higher scaling weapons. Strength, this is even, so you can use it either for strength or dexterity, but I'm not. This is a good dexterity weapon, but this is useful for if something's weak against magic. This is a pretty good weapon. Strength. This is, I want to say, a very good weapon. Because it does a lot more damage. This is a good weapon for a dexterity build, so we're going to come back to this when I have enough strength. Do I want to level it up, though, is a magic question. And then other than that, this is another good weapon that does a lot of damage. It also does frostbite damage, so if somebody's frostbitten by this weapon, that means their stamina isn't going to recharge. This is a good weapon. Now, this is interesting. This weapon has a faith requirement, but it scales in intelligence, as well as it has an intelligence rating for damage. This is another good dexterity weapon. It's a decent dexterity weapon. So this weapon paired with a sharp gem would do some incredible damage. I'm gonna go ahead and do this for now. No, I don't. if I do refined, it increases both strength and dexterity. So for weapons that have the same strength and dexterity requirements and the same strength and dexterity attribute bonuses, I would say this is good. But for now, I just want to do a sharp gem. But since I don't have it, that's fine.
Pretty, I go.
I can also do the
That
other
is
one,
what neat.
and I think I might. This weapon right here. Oh, I need souls.
Pretty, I go.
Now let's see if there's anything I can sell that I picked up.
Ashen what this where did... Oh yes, I'm clinging to lofty dreams in this dyke. It must come from... Wouldst thou not...
I want to sell items. There are some items here that I don't need. And when I have repeats of certain items like this right here, I just sell one. Normally people will keep doubles of certain items in case they have another character. Usually if you have a friend in this game, you can trade the items to them and then they can trade it to the other character that you select.
Ashen... Is it... Ashen...
I believe I may have picked up... Nope. Alright. Oh well, whatever. So we're gonna have to come back because you do actually have to spend souls to infuse and level up and everything, so...
Aha, so.
Havel's ring or this spell. Well, I need... I don't plan on using... But I don't use pyromancy either, so...
Nah.
I'll wait till I get, I'll get souls. Once I defeat Heisel, I should be able to get souls off of him, so I can use that. Let's test out this new weapon that we have. We're going to try these. Now, these kind of weapons are great, but they don't have a lot of range, so... This is my most damaging. This weapon doesn't have a lot of range either, which kind of sucks, but we're just gonna have to maneuver in order to overcome that. I really don't want to have to deal with that guy. So as he's walking away like that, over there, run. Oh no, wait. I'm gonna wait for him. Oh, he's turned around. Okay. Alright, now we can run. Don't worry about these little guys. Run past them because you can always deal with them in a minute. And now that we're over here, we can deal with these small guys. Don't let them spit out the curse fog when they do that, because it's pretty incredibly annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and deal with the guy up here, then I'm going to go ahead and activate the embers on these stairs. Let me go ahead and use this. Actually, no. I'm going to use this weapon for now. These guys do drop Titanite shards, which is pretty useful. Alright, let's do this. Then we are going to heal. Slowly but surely. There are items and rings that you can get that can increase that effect for healing, so this is definitely pretty useful. Let me see, I think there is a shield that you can also, but there's a few shields that you can use. That'll increase your healing. Does it do anything? I don't know. Yes, it does. Alright, so it looks like when you bless weapons, or when you have anything that is blessed, it does constant, yeah. But for now, I'm going to equip the skill shield, and I'm going to show you why in a second. Alright, so let's ember up. Hopefully I don't have to waste too many embers on this guy, but he should be summoning right about here. So hopefully he runs this way and runs up here, because I'm definitely not trying to fight him. Oh, yep, there he is right there. So he should be walking this way relatively shortly. Hopefully in a somewhat quick manner. Yep, and there he is buffing. Now, as you've seen earlier, he does a lot of damage. So, be careful not to get hit too much by that weapon. Okay. Oh my. Yeah, this guy's really annoying. I can get past that if I can parry. In PvP, one of the most annoying things you'll find is people with one-handed weapons that are meant to be one-handed, not like you can one-hand a greatsword, but the one-handed attack isn't as effective as a two-handed attack. When you one-hand a one-handed weapon, the speed is pretty quick, so you're gonna have to be pretty quick when trying to parry and stuff. And it'll probably be helpful if I also blocked, honestly. But the reason why I don't have a parry shield at the moment is because I can parry with the katana. I'm going to attempt it. I'm waiting for this guy to turn around. Hopefully he does. I'm hoping he does. Hopefully sometime soon he does. Doesn't look like he is. Maybe he's thinking about it. Bro, I'm hugging this wall like you don't even believe. Yep, hug the wall. Hug the wall. Alright, he didn't see me. Okay, good. Let me just pick up my souls real quick. Yeah, these things will follow you to the ends of the earth. Alright, the other one didn't follow me. Good. Let's deal with this guy up here really quickly. He also does jump pretty quickly, so you gotta be careful with that. Alrighty. Let's try this again. Attempt number 2. PvP isn't my strong suit in this game, if you can't tell by now. Honestly, if I can't beat him with this Ember, then really just not gonna deal with him at all. I think I had what's his face deal with him last time, so you can strafe that, but I would recommend dodging it. Oh, alright, and so it begins. I'm going to switch really quick to the grass shield. Reason being is because without that, really gotta work down his health. Nope, not dying. Fuck you. Thank God. That was unnecessarily difficult. You don't get anything from him but souls, but the reason why I did it is so I can get the souls, so I can level up a few more weapons. And you might think I might want to save these, but oh, this lady. I think now she tells you, oh, I heard about you, you sound awesome, let's be friends.
Hello again. I have since heard a great deal about you. For one, that you are most gentle of heart.
Sure, you can believe
I
that.
too am bound by duty, but can offer you my sign. I hear that cordial intrusion lays the path to embers. If I can be of help, by all means, do call upon me. Blessing of the moon upon your journey. If you should require a blessing of the...
Alrighty, and with that being said, I didn't get any of those. I can get the ring, but honestly, just for increasing or not increase, whatever. I'm probably gonna get the ring first, and I'm gonna get it. Let me try that again. I'm gonna get the spells later on because right now.
So,
Oh well, I can use that spell, but it's not really that useful, so I don't really care much to use that spell.
now,
Now I'm thinking of a number between 1 to 10 though. So now that I think about it, I have a choice between leveling up the Izalith sword, which does frostbite damage, or the Crystal Sage rapier, and I think I'm gonna do the Crystal Sage rapier only for the fact that if I have to deal with something that's only weak to magic, it'll be a useful weapon. Other than that, it's really not a useful weapon for anything other than increasing your item discovery.
just wasn't he?
I don't have any more of those. I don't need to do that. Okay, so we're gonna do... Nope, never mind. I'm not gonna do that. I thought you needed Titanite shards, but apparently you don't. So we're gonna do this again. And this now will do some pretty decent damage. Plus, it, well, that's interesting. You need a higher dexterity requirement, but it scales better to strength than to dexterity, so that's interesting.
Pretty, I go.
But let's see how much damage it does. Roughly 191. Okay, so it doesn't do that bad damage, but if you want to frostbite somebody, it's a pretty good weapon. We're going to select this for now, and then I'm going to switch. Tune spells. Nope, can't use that. Need to have that at 20. This you can use if you want to see other summon signs that you don't see. This is a buff, but I don't have the requirement for that either. So I might just keep it at health. And I did everything else, so now we finally get to the boss. And since I'm still embered, I'm going to show you the location of 2 NPCs that you can summon. In this area, you can only summon 1 though, so it is really your choice. This is a person of Lundor, that lady who called you a lord, whatever, blah blah blah, you can summon her. Him, I don't know what. Anyways, and then there's another person called Gothard. He has some twin blades that he can use, but I think I'm gonna summon this person purely for the fact that the other one is kind of in a harder to get to location, as well as neither of them have any storyline, so it really doesn't matter who you pick. So it's not important. Dual bow. I forget you get those for people you summon as well. You see those guys right there? You don't have to deal with them. Honestly, you really don't. Just let them slide through, do their thing. I'm waiting for this guy to come over here sometime soon eventually. Alright, there we go. Interestingly, he has the exact same glove that they do. I meant to do a backside, but I missed that horribly. That is a pretty nifty weapon. I believe that weapon does increased physical damage. I'm gonna let these people duke it out real quick. Is there a story behind why they attack? I'm sure there is. Do I know that story? Nope. No, I do not. I'm just gonna let them, you know, mosey on there. I'm gonna try and pick up that item over there. That's a pretty useful weapon. Then we're gonna... I was gonna say we're gonna deal with this guy up here, but he ran to fight him. So, around there, right there, is where the other guy's sign shows up, so... We're gonna deal with this guy over here. That's gonna be useful later on. Fuck my life. I don't want to deal with them, but whatever. That's not what I wanted to do. You also get cracked eye orbs from them, which you use to invade. I'm gonna have to fight this other guy regardless, but... You also get their armor and their weapons upon drop, so it's pretty useful. Now that these guys are dead. It's usually, I want to say right around here. If not here, it's over here where the summon sign for the other guy is. If you have the dried fingers, which you get from that old lady, you can summon both of them. But every time you use the dried finger, it puts you on the top of the invasion list. So expect to get invaded a lot when you use those. I didn't expect this video to take more than 40 minutes, but whatever. I'm going to take one attempt at the boss, and if I can't beat him in one attempt, then I'm going to go ahead and do him in a separate video. He doesn't talk, so I might as well just give him his backstory. This guy is known as part of a group called the Abyss Watchers. They literally watch something called the Abyss. And they would do that so that way if the Abyss got out of hand, they would deal with it. But the problem with the Abyss is as you watch the Abyss takes you over. Which is why they have kind of like those veiny things going up their scarves and the hat. So this guy is one of the first Lords of Cinder that you fight, I believe. And he is basically taking care of his friends because they're all mad with the Abyss. Now this guy is one of the harder bosses. I will say this though, be warned now. The other ones that are lying around, they will get up. Be very careful. So if you didn't summon that NPC, you'd be dealing with 2 of them right now. But then there's a 3rd one that gets up. And I want to say the 3rd one's kind of on your side. But you have to get them to hit each other. He's probably going to kill this other guy. Also, 2 things to note. 1, you can parry this boss. 2, as you saw, you can also backstab him. And once you kill him, the other ones also go down as well. Pretty interesting, nifty cutscene. You might be wondering why that blood is flowing towards him. Will I tell you? Well, I'll just let you watch. Because this is the best part right here. Best part of the whole game. Best part of any bonfight is, any boss fight is when you get to see a cutscene. Because what does that mean? It means he has a second phase. So you have to take his health bar down again. Now he's a lot harder to deal with. But it's only him that you're dealing with, so the other ones aren't going to come back alive. Now he's in his Embered mode, or his Lord of Cinder mode, whatever you want to call it. I'm not gonna lie, I got super lucky right there. I'm surprised to see that he actually is staggerable, so on a few hits, you can actually stagger him. And I suppose because he is a more human-like boss, it's possible. Alright, and there goes that boss. Okay, so that is the end of that. This video has taken an hour long, but whatever. It's gonna be some ridiculously long render time, but that's totally fine. Gonna return to our Firelink Shrine bonfire. And then we are going to level up. I don't have any more souls, I just have the boss soul. Oh, here's this guy.
I know you. Been some time since we met in person. I just dropped in to see how she's getting on. Now, what are you playing at with this circus? This cesspool of doddering old folk and degenerates? Couldn't be better. She must fit in perfectly here. This place is as couldn't hope for.
Now, he does sound rude and pretty rude, but deep down he cares. If he didn't, he wouldn't show up.
Aha, thou returned. So,
Now, this is an important choice. Which one? 1. Now, to answer that question, you have to think, are you doing a dexterity build or a strength build? If you're doing a strength build, Wolf Knight's Greatsword. If you're doing a dexterity build, Farron Greatsword.
Now.
And I'm definitely going to use that later. I will say I do use a lot of boss weapons. I don't have any souls left, so we're just going to level up
Welcome.
once.
Very well, then take note.
Now I'm going to do my strength because now I can use the historic greatsword and I can also level it up. Then I'm going to talk to this guy because if you notice, he has the same clothing as that boss.
You oft the Lords of Cinder, the Undead Legion. So that's how they're delivered to their thrones. I pity the sorry souls. Is that really Lordship's last reward? I failed to thank for helping them find their fine. I pity the...
Alright, and that's all he has to say. I believe nobody else has anything to say for now. I definitely want to emphasize that for now part.
Oh, and you can...
Alright.
Goodbye.
Eventually he starts to ask, hey, can I go pillage? And I'm like, sure, yeah, whatever, go steal whatever you want. That guy hasn't showed up. We still haven't gotten the whole red eye orb, whatever, but I'll do that in another video. So, with that being said, if you like watching what I do, dying mostly is what I do, but hey, I give some useful information between deaths, so if you like the information that I gave you, if you like watching me die, if you like the strategy of avoiding certain enemies and running like crazy, go ahead and like, subscribe. Definitely helps out the channel, and I will catch you guys later.